Abdullah from Bangladesh.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam.
Sheikh, in my country, it's very common to decrease children's age in the birth certificates. My age was decreased as well. Now, all my documents, including my passport, have the fake age. My question is, if I continue to use this age for official paperwork and documents that I need to apply for, would I be considered sinful? Jazakallah khair.
No, you're not sinful. The one who is sinful is the one who made it in the first place. So it's a lot of hassle and it doesn't make that much difference. Move on and act according to what is mentioned on the documents. Zaid from Kashmir.
Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh.
Salam.
Sheikh, I want to know why why there is a misconception of Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala with Ali radiallahu ta'ala. I have seen a lot of people cursing Muawiyah radiallahu ta'ala and Yazid. I want to know why.
This is something that took place in a dark time of the companions, may Allah be pleased with them, after the death of Umar, may Allah be pleased with him. So at the time of Abu Bakr and Umar, things were extremely fine and well. And when Uthman took the throne of the Khilafah, the hypocrites started to cause fitna, along with the Shia. And they did not rest well when the Muslims were prospering and spreading all over the world. So they tried to undermine these efforts, which was crowned by the assassination of the Khalifa, the son-in-law twice of the Prophet ﷺ, one of the 10 heaven-bound, Uthman, may Allah be pleased with him. So when the remaining of the 10 heaven-bound and the Muslims selected Ali to be his Khalifa, some of the companions wanted Ali to avenge Uthman and to bring justice, and those who had contributed in murdering him, so that they would do the Sharia ruling on them. Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, wanted to wait for some time until things are stable, so that chaos would not spread. This is when the fitna took place, and Muawiyah, may Allah be pleased with him, took the wrong decision and made the wrong turn, accompanied by some of the companions, unfortunately as well. So they made ijtihad and they made a mistake in their ijtihad. And this is when the feud happened, which at the end, alhamdulillah, Ali, may Allah be pleased with him, was successful in winning his battles and things got back to normal. But the crack was there already. Now, those who talk ill about Muawiyah, who was one of the scribes of the Quran, who was the brother-in-law of the Prophet ﷺ, the brother of Habiba, the mothers of the believers. He is a companion. His father is a companion. And those who talk against him are pure Shia, deviant enemies of Islam. 1500 years ago, this took place. What does it have to do with us today, when the vast majority of the Muslims follow the Sunnah and abide by it? Why this 4% trying to cause fitna among the Muslims and divide their words? Why do they only want vengeance, revenge, bloodshed, as we see nowadays? We believe that this is a huge sign of not difference of opinion, rather hypocrisy and enmity against the religion. They hate the Quran, they hate the Sunnah, and they hate the companions, may Allah be pleased with them. And this is what's driving them to being this crazy. We Muslims, alhamdulillah, honor all the companions and understand their disagreement and their wrong decisions, We don't stand with their wrong decisions by no means, but we accept and appreciate that they've done their level best. And Allah Azza wa Jal is their judge. And at the same time, we move on in our way to implement the religion of Allah Azza wa Jal without paying any attention to dogs that bark us along the way. It is not logical that we fall on our hands and knees and bark back, and Allah knows best. Abroad from Bangladesh.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa barakatuh.
Firstly, I really love you for the sake of Allah, and may Allah reward you abundantly for the knowledge I've been able to learn you for free.
Ameen, and you as well.
Now the question is, in terms of inheritance of a deceased father who had land property, some of his land may be of high value and some of low value. So the price totally depends on the individual, since the rate is not fixed. In such case, how are his children and wife supposed to divide it within themselves as per the Sharia? Jazakallah khair.
Wajazak. If we have a property of a deceased, let's assume this is the property of the deceased. We've inherited it. He's got his wife, his boys and girls. Now, either they say, we don't want to sell it now, just keep it. In this case, they don't have to pay zakat because it's not displayed to be sold and it's just staying there. However, we know that the share of the mom is 1/8 and the share of the boys is X amount and the share of the girls is X amount. We know this because we have the percentages. If they want to sell it today, the moment it is sold, we get the money, we can divide it on 8. The result is the mother's, the widow's share. If he has a mother, if he has a father, if he has this and that, we know the percentage. If they don't want to distribute it, it stays as it is with their percentages. What happens if someone dies? Then when we sell it, we allocate his percentage and give it to his heirs. What happens if one of us want to buy someone else's share? The moment I want to buy my sister's share and she's agreeing to sell, we evaluate the land. How much is it today? It's X amount of money. I take her percentage, her share of the inheritance, and I give it to her cash, whether today or after 1 month or after 1 year. As long as she agreed to sell it, then the price is fixed and she's allowing me to pay her after 1 year. Or she says, no, we will evaluate it 1 year from today when you want to pay me, when you have cash. So I hope this answers your question.